Hey, long time no talk, but I wanted to get some things off my chest about the program, and I've been thinking of doing this video for a while now, and after getting so many questions about what the program is and what it does for you, and some people who I think may have some false pretenses about the program, I just wanted to clear the air a bit for those people that are applying now, maybe some that have been accepted, and you might not know some certain things, and I just wanted to put it out there because there are some things that you do need to know before doing the program that are very important. So just keep watching, and I will clear the air about some things that I think you need to know about. Today I wanted to talk about different things that I learned from my program and kind of spill some tea about the Disney College program. Before I start, I just want to say these are all my views. Everything is based off of me working in merchandise in Magic Kingdom. My sister worked in the Polynesian custodial, which is two completely different things, but I feel like our views kind of go together on this. So, but again, everything is my point of view. Just a disclaimer. So I've tried to put things into different categories. Some of them kind of coincide with each other, but the one that I'm going to start with is the fact that the Disney College program is not always rainbows and butterflies. Through social media, there's a kind of way that it's portrayed like it's a vacation. The Disney College program is not in any way a vacation. It's hard to get time off. You're going to be there for holidays if you're there in the fall. Again, I was fall, so I can't speak on this part of spring. I know spring is completely different. But right now, fall applications are out, and I feel like that's why it's important for me to talk. But anyway, the Disney College program is difficult. From a mental standpoint, before I went, I was very conflicted about if I should go through with it because I knew it meant being away from my family and being away from my friends at home. And even though I wanted this new start for myself, I knew it was going to be difficult because I was putting myself in a completely different environment. I ended up adoring it, but it's just important to know that if you're not comfortable with taking yourself out of your environment and adjusting to something new, then it might not be for you. When I say it's not always rainbows and butterflies, I also mean that even though you're going to the parks every day, you still have a full-time job. You're working upwards of 60 hours a week, depending on where you're working, and it's just difficult. You're working holidays where on Christmas, I had a guest steal right from under me, and I couldn't do anything about it except put in a report. But that stuff happens. There's going to be hard days. For me, Christmas was probably the hardest day. I did cry. A lot of other people that I was working with were crying because it's hard. And you don't think it's going to be as hard as it is until you're there, until the week before when a lot of people drop out of it, because you see everyone at home getting ready for holidays, and on Thanksgiving is probably the first time that you really see it. But it hurts. Like, you know that you're not going to go home. You can't go home because you sign up to be there. For me, Christmas was definitely the hardest. It was calling my family on break and holding back tears because I knew that they were all together. And I know people will have different opinions on being away for the holidays, but seeing everyone there, seeing how all my coworkers were, how we were talking to each other, like, we were each other's family. Like, we were so close because we were pulled away from our own families. And that's the good part of it, but it doesn't, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It doesn't mean that it hurts any less to be away from family. And that's something that when you're applying for fall, you need to really, really think about, because it's annoying when people go there and they self-term right before holidays, because that is why you were signing up for the program. You were there to work for holidays. You were there to make it magical for guests. It is not about you at that point. It is about the guests. And you need to be there for the company. That's what you're signing up for, and it doesn't look good on your part if you leave. So just know that. There were a lot of times throughout my program where I felt like maybe I should go. I was missing my family. I was maybe getting a little depressed and feeling like other things. I was missing things at home. But overall, it was good for me. But if you're someone that can't necessarily deal with that and you think you might have to go home at some point, you can't count on being able to go home because it's just not like that. Which brings me into kind of another point of time off. When you put in requested days off, that doesn't mean you're going to get them. And 99.9% of the time, at least in like my job location, you're not going to get it. At least as a CP. A Disney college program is not for requesting time off, that's for sure. You are expected to work long hours. You do sign off saying you're going to work holidays. That's your contract. So don't go thinking that you're going to go home for Christmas or New Year's or Thanksgiving or Halloween. I don't know if you want to go home for Halloween, but maybe for like parties at school. I don't know. But you're probably not going to be able to do it, so don't think you're going to do it anyway. I tried to put in time off to go to Disneyland, and I didn't even get that, so I had to call out one day. But it doesn't look good to call out. Don't make it a habit of calling out. Disney does have a point system, which if you're late, you get half a point. It doesn't matter how much you're late, except for the fact that it can be within 2 hours of your start from your shift, and you would only get half a point. But no matter what, you're getting half a point even if you're a minute late. So if you're not good at keeping time, you're not punctual, then maybe it's not for you because there's no way around it. You get points for calling out. You get points for not showing up at all. You could get points for not doing things correctly. Whole different topic, but you just need to know from that standpoint that holidays and time off, if you're calling out, it's going on your record. It doesn't look good for you. You're working there for the entirety of your 6 months. Make sure that you know that you're working there. That's all I'm saying. It's not a vacation. The next thing I'm going to talk about is vlogging and Instagram versus reality. Again, this kind of goes with things aren't always rainbows, but people will only portray things online that they want you to see. That, like, I cannot stress that enough. People are always going to show you their days off when they're having fun. They're going to show you maybe a day in the life. But what they're not showing you is when they're at work and they have a guest that is more needy than others. When people go to Disney, they are expecting a certain quality of customer service. And people know how to take advantage of it if that's something that they want to do. People will try to get free things from you. They will try to tell you that you're doing your job wrong. Even if you're following all the procedures. Guests know, they think that they know better than you. And that's just what happens. People on Instagram aren't showing you that. People who are vlogging aren't showing you that. Maybe I'm talking to you about it now after my program, but I think it's ironic the fact that a lot of people who self-term from their programs are vloggers. And I feel like that's not something that's really talked about. The fact that people who are portraying their life in such like a fantastic way, people who are showing their program as if it's perfect, are then the ones who are telling you at the end, wait, it's not perfect. You know what I mean? So just know that. Just because, like, if you're my friend and you saw me posting pictures of the castle every day, calling it home, which is true, but if I'm trying to show you the positive side of things, I wasn't telling you the times I was upset or the times I had a bad day at work. So it's important to go in with a mindset knowing that not every day is going to be perfect. And some people have a lot more bad days than good. Some people are miserable their entire programs. There are people who leave their programs saying, I'm never going back. And that's just the way it is. For me, it's not that way, but I know plenty of people who were miserable almost the entire time. And it's difficult to say, but sometimes even though you think something's right for you, it might not be. And it is important to look into factors of everything before you sign up to go away for 6 months. Another key thing to mention about vlogging is the fact that it's not easy. I wanted to vlog my whole program, but I didn't want to sacrifice time to myself to be editing videos because to me it's not that important. I can edit videos now and upload them, that's fine, but when you're doing it there, it's difficult. When you're recording things every time you're going out, or the majority of the time that you're going out, then you're missing out on the actual conversation because you're trying to portray yourself in this way. Again, like Instagram versus reality, you're not having real conversations like you're actually, like what's shown off camera isn't being shown there. So vlogging is difficult because of the time that it takes, and you have to keep up with it. Good vloggers are good at what they do. They really are. But it's not for everyone. Obviously, for me, that was something that I didn't anticipate was it being super hard, but just don't go to the DCP to be someone who's famous on Instagram. Don't go to be someone who's going to become famous on YouTube. And don't do it, just don't do the Disney College program for fame online, because I feel like some people who are contacting me see that side of it and they're like, oh, it's something that people are invested in. It's something that people would want to watch. And yeah, sure. But don't make that the reason why you're going on your program. And I see it in people, and I see people asking me these things related to that topic. And it's just crazy to me because this is an internship. It's not a game. It has a 20% acceptance rate, so don't blow it. Like, it blows my mind how ignorant people are about this. People will show you what they want you to see. And I'm sorry I'm ranting, but I am. Probably one of the last things I want to talk to you about is roommates. In my situation, my roommates were awesome. I wasn't close with all of them. I feel like it's a common misconception that you pick these people in advance on Facebook. You get, most of the time, a group of 6 girls together, and you act like you're best friends, and then you get there, and you act like you're best friends, and then within a week, you're not friends with anyone. And that's just how it happens. You have to know how to keep being yourself while picking your friends instead of trying to conform to other people. When you're going away, it's difficult, but most of the time you'll find out once you get there, you're not going to be friends with any of your roommates. And I know plenty of people who were not friends with any of their roommates. I was lucky enough to be good friends with most of my roommates, but even still, I thought we were going to be close the entire time, and we just weren't. Towards the end, things start breaking up because you've been together for 6 months. You start realizing that you maybe can't stand a certain person. But also something you need to be careful about is choosing roommates. Just because someone portrays themselves a certain way online doesn't mean that they're going to be perfect. And anyone can put on a show online. Anyone can try to be whoever they want while they're texting you or even FaceTiming. But when you're in person together, that person can be completely different. So it's very important your first week there to not close yourself off and only be friends with your roommates. We love when the phone rings. When you're there for your first week, you have to make sure that you're talking to people in your traditions, that you're meeting people around wherever living complex you're at, you're going to housing events, because meeting those people in your first week is very important. It's not to say that you're not going to meet people along the way, because you will, but those friendships that you make the first weeks are going to most likely be the people that you're going to be doing your journey with. You're gonna lose people along the way, but it's kind of like you're taking a whole year of college and throwing it into one semester. With the way that things are there, everything moves so quickly. You're gonna gain friends, you're gonna lose friends. Be careful with your roommates. It's okay if you don't like your roommates. I knew people who, my one friend had 2 other people in her room, so she only had a 3-person room, and she didn't like any of her roommates. And she knew them, so stay positive, though. It's very important to stay positive throughout your experience. That's just kind of my 2 cents on everything. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask, but I just felt like it was important with people who were asking me questions to kind of get the same answer from me instead of me like retyping everything. It's kind of what this is for. Maybe you also had questions. Just keep these things in mind when you're applying. If you're accepted, maybe reevaluate your acceptance before you go. Know that these things are there. Know that Disney is not perfect. Disney will expect you to be the brand. When you're hired for Disney, you can be whoever you want to be in an interview. You can pass a web-based interview, say that your personality is perfect. But once you're there, you are filling a role in Disney's show. You are expected to look the part as much as you are to be the part. So you can't give up once you get there. Actually, it's way more difficult after the interview to sell yourself there, because the whole time, most of the time, you're making first impressions on people and you're selling yourself as Disney. You are part of the Disney brand. From the second that you sign away on your hired slip, you are the Disney brand and you're expected to act like so. During training, you are given literal training about how you are part of the Disney brand, how you're expected to act, what you're expected to wear, how your hair has to be, how your makeup has to be. This is not Disney look. I'm just telling you, you can't have eyeliner like this for Disney look. I'm just saying, there's a lot of different things that you may not know about. You are expected to learn Disney speak. You can't have any weird colors in your hair, no highlights that are too bright, natural highlights only, no visible tattoos or piercing, no nose rings, anything like on your ears except this is a no-no. Jewelry is no. This one, technically I don't think is allowed because it has more than 1 stone, even though we sell this in our store. So, things like that. And again, Disney look depends on your leaders, but based on your contract, I am not currently in Disney look right now. I think you're allowed to wear, you can't wear 2 necklaces, but you could wear this one. This one, I don't think so. But I'm just saying, be mindful of your Disney look. Be mindful of exactly what you're signing up for. Be willing to conform to Disney views. You are representing a brand. You are representing a multinational company. You are representing a lot when you're working for the program. And one last thing, you will realize, especially if you're there for the holidays, that you are cheap labor. You will not be getting holiday pay. You do get overtime. But the reason why you're getting so many hours is because they cut the hours of part-time and full-time during holidays because they don't have to pay you as much. So even though you love your job like me, you are essentially being given the, how do I put this? You're just the cheap labor. That's what it is. So if I think of anything else, I'll add it in here. This was kind of just a rant for me while people are asking me questions about it. Evaluate yourself before you put in an application. That's all I have to say. And make sure your school allows you to do it, because also important. Well, thanks for watching. I know this is kind of like a downer video, but just know that I adored my program and I want to go back. This video was more so targeted towards people who may be second guessing or maybe trying to follow in someone else's footsteps, who has just heard about the program and like it looks nice. So I'm just putting it all out there. Make sure you read contracts before you sign up for a program. That's it. Thanks for watching this video. Sorry it's a downer, and that's the Disney College program.